Hi and good morning. Today I'm going to present my practicum slide presentation, which consists of PDT 4023 Practicum 1 and PDT 4033 Practicum 2. This is my practicum center for the 12 weeks period, which is St. Faith Kindergartens. What will you see throughout the presentation, which means this is the outline of the topics that I'm going to present today. There will be 5 arrows, which these arrows represents for every topics. So the first one is I'm going to talk about student information, which I'm gonna describe myself. The second topic is about the school's information, which it consists of the school's background, vision and mission, and the school routines hours. The third topic is challenging in practicum, which I divided it into 2 sections. The first subtopic is the strength in my practicum and the weakness of the practicum. The fourth topic is the conclusion, which means the strategy to improve, which divided into 3 aspects from the students, schools, and also the college. And the last topic will be pictures or appendix, which consists of the programs that I involved myself when I was practicum in the practicum center. Proceed to the first topics, which includes students' information. So my full name is Nurulaini Hafizah binti Mohamad Ali, and my student ID number is SCSWK220478. I am 21 years old this year, and I come from Cebu, Sarawak. My current program is Diploma in Early Childhood Education, and the institution name is Segi College, Sarawak. My hobbies is reading, listening to music, as well as experience new things. Now I'm going to talk about the school's information. This is the logo of St. Faith Kindergarten Kuching. For the background of the kindergarten, as people know that St. Faith Kindergarten Kuching is a preschool where children begin their journey of education and building their characters as well as their values in a Christian-based environment. It is a non-profit kindergarten that was established in 1989, whose main thrust is to the community by providing suitable preschool program or curricula for the holistic development. As you can see from the logo itself, it was a Christian-based environment, which it does produce a Christian-based learning preschool for children. The next one is the vision of St. Faith Kindergarten Kuching, which it was towards a generation who grew in wisdom and stature in favor with God and man. As for the mission for this kindergarten is God Center for Wholesome Development, character building with love, care and discipline, provide quality education, fun and creative learning. And the motto for the kindergarten is let the children grow. Other information for the schools is the learning environment. So on the left side of my slide is K3 English Brain Classroom, which it was the first classroom that I started my first day of the practicum, which is for my practicum 2. And on the right side of the slide is K1 English Brain Classroom, which I started the second practicum in the school. The other information that I'm going to talk about is the routines, which is the school hours. This kindergarten provide 2 sessions. The first one is morning session and afternoon session. For the morning session, K1, K2, and K3, it have a different time, which for K1, 4 years old children, started from 8 a.m. until 11:30, and for K2 and K3, which 5 to 6 years old, started at 7:45 a.m. until 11:45 a.m. And for the afternoon session, which is a Chinese medium classes, for K1, it was started at 1 p.m. until 4:30 p.m. And for K2 and K3, it was started at 12:45 p.m. until 4:45 p.m. So this is the challenging in my practicum 1, which is nursery, consists of 4 years old student. There will be 2 subtopics, which is the strength and also the weakness. So I'm going to talk about the strength, which is the good things in this practicum 1, which the class are provided with stationary basket, and it's also labeled with children's name. So it is easier and convenient for them to use in the classroom. Whenever the teacher started the teaching and learning session, after that the teacher will provide some worksheets or any activity workbook for them to do. They will immediately take the baskets, and it also labeled with the name, so it was very easy for them to know which one is their baskets. And the second one is teachers are able to conduct more fun learning and activities with children, as they are more focused on learning through play. As we all know, 4 years old students, they are more focusing on playing as well as learning. So it was very less stressful for me to conduct the lesson plan as well as the activity with the children. However, the weakness that I challenged during my nursery practicum, which there were only few students that can speak and understand English in Malay language. Some of the students are using Mandarin, and it does confusing the teachers. Myself, I experienced this kind of matters, which there are lots of students that can't really speak English and also Malay. So sometimes they will use Chinese or Mandarin language to explain to the teachers, and I saw that it does confusing the teachers, which their language or their mother tongue is not Mandarin. So the second weakness is the language barrier between the teacher and children will make it difficult for teacher give instructions. Also, children having difficulties in understand teacher's instruction. This is very true, which I know that my practicum partner, she does not really good in giving out instruction, as well as when the children are having difficulties in understand the teacher's instruction, which I also experienced it and I observed it by myself. So it will be a bit challenging for us during the practicum 1 period. The next one is the challenging that I faced myself during practicum 2, which is the kindergarten, which also divided into 2 subtopics, which is the strength and also the weakness. For the strength in this practicum 2, 6 years old children can understand well when teachers giving instruction, and they can follow it as well. This is very true, which when you giving out an instruction to 6 years old children, which they can understand well, every of your instruction is a very satisfying for you, because you have the feeling where you are giving out a very good instruction to the children, and they can understand it and they can follow it as well. The second strengthness is communication between teachers and children are in a good state, as they can conquer as much language, and any transition of language happen, they manage to fit into the situation. I agree with this one because I myself communicate with the children, and this is a very good side of practicum 2, which they are 6 years old. And you can expect much more further than this, because they can conquer 3 languages in one time, which is in Malay, English, and also Chinese. The weakness of my practicum tool is hard to think of interesting and fun learning activities as they are much more focused towards writing and reading. This is very true, which I myself found out that creating a lesson plan for 6 years old student is much more difficult as the teacher itself told us that they need to focus more on writing and reading. And the last one is insufficient learning center and interesting learning materials in class. The class was a bit low on learning center and interesting learning materials as it make it difficult for me to use it, or any learning materials that are provided in class are not as interesting as what I think, and this will lead to a very challenging time for me to create a good activities or plan an activities for me to play with the kids in the classroom. The next one is, this is for the conclusion, which strategies to improve. There will be 3 aspects inside strategies to improve, which from student, the school, and also the college. So for student is practice dual language with the children as some of them are lack in vocabulary. This is very true. Lack in vocabulary will lead to a very huge language barrier between teacher and children to communicate, and as well for children to understand the teacher's instructions. The second one is create activity consists of fine and gross motor skills as in help them to improve their skills. Some of the students, especially 4 years old, they are still lack in fine motor skills, and this will make them the fine motor skill will become very low, and some of them are still unable to write. So I hope that this activity, for example, for the fine motor skill, need to be improved and needs to be developed more to make them the fine motor skill or the muscles become more stronger and make them very good in writing as well. So the next one is emphasize on 21st century learning skills with the children. As the technology becomes much more developed, a 21st century learning skills is must provided in making the student more advanced, started from the 4 years old until 6 years old. So for school, the kindergarten itself, the school needs to provide more sports too. So more sports too means there needs to have more any tools that must use for activities or assembly, because every Friday usually they would have an assembly, which us in turn needs to provide activities, need to plan all the activities, and sometimes we are facing a difficulties to provide the activities as the sports tools are not enough or insufficient in the school. The second one is some of the tech equipment has to be upgraded in every class. For example, every class should have the LCD screen projector, as this upgraded tech equipment will much more helping for the teacher itself and also the other interns to plan or create and activities with the children. The third one is CCTV installation will make it easier for teachers to detect if any unexpected things occur. This is very true, which the CCTV only installed outside of the classroom and not inside of the classroom. So this matter will make it to a big problem if there is anything unexpected thing happens to the children and the parents wouldn't believe the teacher. They will have a CCTV videos as a proof which their child are doing some things that unexpected. And it also helps the teachers to defend themselves if it's not their fault or to the student side itself. As for the college is A proper accessibility has to be provided for the practicum period. For example, the transportation, which we ourselves experienced this on the first week of our practicum. We are not provided by the transportation. This is very true, and I am very upset with this matter. It does make things more difficult, and we facing a very hard times, which we ourselves interns going to college and ask the for a transportation from the driver itself. We thought that at first college would not provide the transportation for us, but after that we come to a solution which we are going to ask by ourselves, and the driver itself approve it, and we got the transportation for the whole practicum period. So college needs to provide it first to interns as it easier for them for the whole practicum journey. And the last one is updates on any documents or references needs to be used by interns. For example, some of the students didn't take into accountability, which there are new documents or references to be used in the practicum period. So for pictures or appendixes, this is the pictures that I insert as we have a field trip in Matang Wildlife Center on 18th July 2023. So this is the picture where all students and teachers participate during the field trip. So the second program or event that was held in the kindergarten is dental visit on 18th August 2023. So here is the picture where the children had chance to learn how to take care of their teeth with the dental nurses itself. So the kindergarten invite the dental nurses to come to the kindergarten to help children how to take care of their teeth. The last one is the fire drill, which is currently held in kindergarten on 25th August 2023. So this is the picture where fire safety demonstrations performed by the firefighter itself. So it means that the kindergarten invites the firefighter to come to kindergarten to perform a fire safety with teachers as well as the students. Last but not least, a huge thank you for college and for my lecturer for giving me an opportunity to experience this practicum for the whole 12 weeks periods. I am very thankful for the experience that you gave me, and I will use it in a good way. That's all from me. Thank you.